Well, if you watch this channel for the last few months, you know that I'm a huge, huge TJ Lateef fan. 2 months ago, I did a film study on him, and now he is officially a Nebraska Cornhusker committed, and well, verbally a Nebraska Cornhusker. But I said after the spring game that I thought things were, pretty much a done deal. Everything kind of went quiet there for a little bit, which is usually a good sign in recruiting that things are kind of getting set up to make a commitment. Then a couple weeks after that, or a week or so, we got some crystal balls, and everything just kind of trended the right direction at the right time. And we got the announcement this weekend on the heels of a good recruiting visitor weekend. A lot to be excited about. David Sanders Jr., top offensive lineman coming in there, and albeit sounds like Nebraska might have a little momentum there. He had a great visit. Also Broderick Scholl. My last video was a film study on him, offensive tackle. I really, really like out of Oklahoma. 4-star offensive tackle, maybe going under the radar just because David Sanders Jr. was the big visitor this weekend. But TJ Lateef, great news in getting him. And it's one of those guys that, we really weren't in his top 7 when he announced it a few months ago. I can't remember exactly how long ago, but Nebraska was able to slide in and seal the deal pretty quickly. As soon as Nebraska kind of showed interest, it was pretty much everything started trending that direction. So first things first, before I forget, my name is Justin Adams. I am a creator here at Nebraska Football, at the Voice of College Football, and I host the Tuesday live streams. So if you like what we're doing here, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out. Drop your comments and let me know what you think about TJ Lateef and the visitor weekend overall, and what y'all thought about that. So, but without further ado, let's just get into a little bit of TJ Lateef and what I like about him. Now, the biggest thing that I like about him coming off of, this decision is, I saw it on a film, of course, but film is one thing, but the cerebralness and the confidence and the mental aspect that he brings. And I think that's one of the most underrated things that you can tell just in a quarterback, and even how he handled this process, right? He was one of those guys that says he wanted to chase not a logo, but he wanted to chase connections, or go where he's welcome, right? Another thing that we've alluded to during Matt Rule's time at Nebraska, just one of those guys that is able to bring people in and make them feel welcome immediately. It's one of the main things that we hear from recruits, families, etc. So, just another indication there that these connections are, legitimate, and these, it does have an impact on these players. It's something they take into account. It's one thing getting a player from California over to Nebraska, but one of the top quarterbacks in the classes, it's huge. So he was willing to come in here, behind a 5-star, behind an already 4-star that's there. And he's going to be in the 2025 class, of course. But then also knocking on the heels of Dayton Raiola potentially coming in 2026. And, both of these guys are quarterbacks that are going to need a little bit of a development of work. But, that's pretty normal. But he's still, in a position where he wants to come in here and compete. And that should be applauded. And that just goes to show kind of the mentality that he has. And now we'll transition over into a little bit of kind of the football side of things. And, what I like about him in the football side of things. Sorry, my film just kind of started playing here on its own. So he's 6'1", between 6'1", 6'2". So he's got good height. He does need to put a little bit more size on his frame. Great touch on his passes and ball placement. Sees the field very well. You'll notice on some of his film that he does pick up on coverages, pre-snap coverages very well, because you can tell by the way he identifies how receivers are going to break out of the routes and how the route concepts are going to come open, that he has a very good understanding of defensive patterns and defensive, alignments, especially pre-snap, which is a very important thing, especially coming into college, because you're going to get a lot more of disguising coverage and basically, some shell coverages and mixing things up. You look at the 3-3-5 from Tony White and how hard that is to prepare for, because there's so many different looks. So very easy to get confused as a quarterback on that side of the thing. So let's just pull up here. I'm going to pull up some of his film, and we'll briefly go over this. I won't spend too much time on it, but we're going to go over a little bit of what I like about his film. So first thing I want you to see on these just first few plays that we're going to let run, the ability of him to quickly get into his drop back, and just look how quickly he makes the read and identifies, the person coming open, goes through his progressions, and he comes to the end of his drop and he's ready to fire. And when he doesn't, you'll see there's a reason why, but he also is able to find, space and opportunity to be able to make throws. And so let's get into a let it run and just look how quickly the ball comes out of his hands. And again, with his release, pretty quick release. Might need a little bit of refining, but just the way he's able to come out of his drop straight into the pass, quick. Boom. Very good at recognizing coverages there. He sees man coverage. Here, again, just very quick on the release at the end of his drop. Quick end of his drop right there up the middle of the field. See, he identifies man coverage very well, or identifies coverages just overall very well. So in this one, you can see it's kind of a man look. You got a guy right here squared up. You have this guy squared up. So it looks just like everything's kind of manned up, just the way it looks. You have one guy over here who's potentially, could drop back into safety, but he doesn't. So he identifies it's man coverage here. Quick drop back, sees that route that's going to come out right open over the middle, makes the throw. All right, so let's move forward just a little bit, and I want to break down this throw here just a little bit in more detail. This right here is a beautiful, beautiful throw, one of my favorite throws on his film. And so in this play right here, what you're going to notice is he comes and immediately sees this right here, right? So you have a safety, you have cover two right here. So you have a safety on this side, safety on this side. Now he's going to need to be able to read what this safety is going to do to see if he can come over and make that play in time or if he can fit it in his window. Now look at the confidence. Steps back, calm feet, delivers that strike right there, understands that the defender not in a necessarily a great position to be able to come and make that throw because he didn't read the quarterback's eyes potentially quick enough, but puts that right over the top of the defender underneath the safety to where he can go up and make that pass. It's just great touch and great touch on the sidelines. This next play, again, you'll see his ability to quickly identify, even a lapse in the coverage and when a defender makes a mistake. So he's going to drop back here, got his eyes on this side of the field. So what you're going to see out of here is one of these defenders here is going to bite down and it's going to allow his man to come open. As soon as he sees that defender bite down, he is ready to make the throw. Boom, right there. This guy, you'll see right here, watch him bite down on this inside move right here. Bites on that a little too hard, right? Oh, backed out of it. Sorry about that. Bites on that a little too hard, and that's able to buy him just enough time to get around this guy. TJ recognized it. Now still pretty tight coverage here, and he still released that ball and knows that he's going to be able to come open, has a step, drops it right in the bucket. Again, right underneath the safety that looked like he was cover one or broken coverage altogether, but it might have been cover one man right there. So again, identifies that man coverage. They were able to get that out of the break. Okay. Now I'm going to move forward just a little bit here. Let me move forward to this throw. Now, this is my favorite throw on this film. So look at this ability to move the pocket, roll right, RPOs. Nebraska does want to throw some RPOs in there. They do like to mix it up with these RPOs, and they're gonna run a fair decent amount of them coming up this year and in the future. So he fakes the handoff to the left, and you'll see this receiver right here, right? So you got another instance where it's man coverage. And so he's going to roll right. Now, the biggest, most impressive thing is when he's rolling right, this is really hard to be able to drive a throw, especially into a tight window. When you got to zip a pass into a tight window, moving that way, being able to kind of get your leverage, because again, throwing the football is all about lower body, hips, and leverage. So watch his ability to be able to just get the hips through, even on this play, get the hips through and make a laser of a throw right in the perfect spot. I mean, that defender, great coverage there, had a handout, still was able to fit that in a tight window. Great play by the receiver as well. Beautiful, beautiful throw. Now we're going to move a little bit forward. Now, on these plays, now the biggest thing that I want to show y'all on this film is the feet. Okay, Glenn Thomas said a little bit, a couple months back that calm feet equal a calm mind. And when you're playing quarterback, what that means is, let's say you have a quarterback who is very, very antsy in the pocket, that the pocket may collapse, or he's got, seeing ghosts a little bit back there where he's afraid that the pocket's going to collapse because maybe, coverage hasn't been good at times. So he starts to kind of just really pity pat those feet, right? Because it's an anxiousness, right? It's like I need to be ready to bail at any moment. And not necessarily having confidence in your ability to go through your progressions and find a read. And so calm feet equal calm mind. And it's one of the main things that you want to see in a quarterback to see just how confident they are and how confident they are in the pocket. And so watch how his feet are here. Now, the little shuffles that you will see, those are to get his hips in a position to be able to make a throw. So let's say he's looking left. Well, to throw right, he's not going to be able to just sit there with his feet and throw right? He's going to need to shuffle his hips because everything again is going to be from your hips. You drive through your hips and then everything kind of moves up from there. So look at the feet. Just a quick little shuffle, went left to right, throws it over to this guy. Okay. Again, right there, calm feet. I'm going to get to a play here in just a second where it really, really is evident. And let me go ahead and fast forward over here to 118. All right. So on this play coming up right here. Okay. Now, these middle of the field throws, I saw somebody say something earlier to where it says he needs to get his confidence in these middle of the field throws. I don't think it's necessarily that he doesn't have confidence. Sometimes, it's very dependent, right? And he is 6'1", listed as 6'1". I don't know if it's a height thing, but if you do look at shorter quarterbacks, but if he is 6'2", then that's not an issue. 6'1", it really shouldn't be an issue again. But like some of these guys that do tend to throw to the sidelines more, it's because, shorter quarterbacks tend to throw to the sidelines more. Again, he's 6'2". I don't know his exact measurements. You never know with these listings, but they got him listed as 6'1.5". So I'm not sure if that's the issue, but still, again, it's something he'll get more comfortable with target in the middle of the field. But I don't think he lacks confidence because you can see right here, just look how steady his feet are. Boom. Right? Statue in the pocket right there. Okay. Right here. This is his ability to stretch the play, roll right. Now, this is really impressive. Now, he won't run a ton, right? He's not going to run, but he has, he's a track and field guy. He's athletic, he's explosive, and he can run when he has to. But it's one of those things that, we saw last year, just how much running your quarterback can wear them down. And just, it's one of those things where Matt Rule and company want the quarterback to be able to stand in the pocket more often than not. And that's the type of quarterbacks he's going to get. So just because they can move doesn't mean he necessarily wants them always running, but just having that ability right there to stretch the pocket, huge. Now, this is the one right here. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to his feet again. I keep clicking off of this thing. I am the worst, yo. I am the worst. Now, watch this play. So he's right here. Now, breaks down. Look how steady his feet are, right? Pocket collapses around him. Just a quick little stutter step up, just enough in the pocket to where he can make the throw. Now, he has a lane right here where he could run, but instead, what does he do? He keeps his eyes down the field. He knows how his route concepts potentially will come out, buys himself some time, steps into the throw, makes a great throw. Okay. Now, watch that one more time. This is the last one that we're going to pull up on his film. I don't want to kill y'all with the film too much, just in case this is not up your alley. But let's watch it again. Okay. Again, watch how calm the feet are. And then he makes a small step up in the pocket. Feet stay calm. He moves up, feet calm down again, makes the throw. Here we go. Steady, steps up, boom. Little shuffle, just to get in position to make his throw. Doesn't bail up the middle, doesn't immediately think run. He's still looking down the field, keeps his eyes down the field the whole time, runs through his route progressions. So, again, TJ Lateef is somebody I am extremely excited about. Again, that film review I did 2 months ago is a little bit more in depth. There was an issue with my mouse cursor. I had my mouse cursor on the StreamYard screen as opposed to the actual film screen. So that one's a little hard to follow. But I will be coming out with more film reviews here in the coming weeks about some of these other guys that Nebraska is potentially interested in, or I think we got a good shot at. So stay tuned for those. And then, as always, we have our live streams on Tuesday. So stay tuned tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central, if y'all want to join us over here. and I will be here ready to talk some Husker football, talk some recruiting, and break everything down a little bit more. So, again, if y'all like what we're doing here, please consider liking, subscribing. It really helps me out. And let me know what y'all think of the video. And I will see y'all on the next, well, actually, I'll see y'all tomorrow in the live stream. So have a good one, y'all. Peace.